Good evening. Hi, everybody. If everybody can kind of either find a seat or get closer, welcome. It's a pleasure to see so many people, to see a full house. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. This is the third lecture on the move. I don't know if anybody, I see some familiar faces. So I know, for those of you that don't know, Lecture on the Move is a relatively new program that MCASD has launched, the education department, where I am the manager. And it's a conversation in the gallery surrounded by the work, right? What better way to talk of the artworks if it's not with them around? So tonight we have the immense pleasure to have a little bit of a different lecture on the move with the honor of having Yan Pei-Ming and Dr. Kuiyi Shen in conversation. MCSD is honored to be the first place where a burial in Shanghai is presented in the United States. And it's also an honor to have Yan Pei-Ming and his family here for the events of the opening week. So I thank you, and thank you, Dr. Kuiyi Shen, art historian from UCSD. So before I even go into the introductions and presenting our guests, I'd like to do a little bit of housekeeping since we are in the gallery. A little bit like the educator in me. Just remember that there's artwork around, so be conscious of your surroundings, and if everybody can turn their cell phones off, okay? So your cell phones don't interrupt the conversation. So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Maru Lopez, and as I said, I am the manager of the Education and Engagement Department here at the Museum of Contemporary Art San Diego. And I'll go and introduce now both our guests. So, Yan Pei-Ming is internationally renowned for his powerful, large-scale portraits of public figures such as Mao Zedong, Bruce Lee, and Barack Obama, alongside intimate portrayals of his family and himself. His work spans history, current events, and reinterpretations of art historical icons, all deeply rooted in the European painting tradition, particularly its convention of status and power. In a digital era, his portraits evoke a tension between classical representations and contemporary relevance. Born in Shanghai and based in France since age 19, Ming studied at the École des Beaux-Arts in Dijon, but I probably butchered my French for all of you French speakers, and rose to prominence after the 2003 Viennese Biennale. He gained further acclaim with a 2009 Louvre exhibition that reimagined the Mona Lisa. His distinct visual language features bold, expressive brushwork and a limited color palette, primarily black and white or red and white, though recent works have incorporated more hues like blue and green. His paintings oscillate between abstraction and realism, shifting clarity with distance to blur the boundary between perception and reality. Major solo exhibitions include the UCCA in Beijing, CAC in Malaga, Belvedere Museum in Vienna, and Musée d'Orsay in Paris, among others. Recent shows have explored themes of biography, homage and self-portraiture, highlighting Yan's evolving engagement with both Eastern and Western traditions. Now, Dr. Kuiyi Shen is a professor of art history, theory, and criticism, and vice chair of the Visual Arts Department at the University of California, San Diego. His research focuses on modern and contemporary Asian art. Among his publications are A Century in Crisis, Modernity, and Tradition in the Art of 20th Century China, Word and Meaning, Chinese Posters, Arts of Modern China, Light Before Dawn, Unofficial Chinese Art, 1974 to 1985, Liang Yu, Kaleidoscopic Modernity and the Shanghai Global Metropolis, 1926 to 1949, and Louis Shan. He's a recipient of fellowships and awards from NEA, NEH, Social Science Research Council, Japan Society of the Promotion of Science, Stanford University, Leiden University, University of Heidelberg, and the University of California, among others. He served as jury member for the 4th International Awards of Art Criticism, London, Shanghai in 2017, and the 7th Jishu Award for Critical Writing on Contemporary Chinese Art. He's also the managing editor of Brill's book series, Modern Asian Art and Visual Cultures. I invite everybody to welcome our guest. Pass it on to you.
Thank you very much, and very nice introduction. And today I'm extremely honored to have a chance to talk to Yan Pei-Ming. Actually, we both came from Shanghai, China. And also, I met him a couple of times. 2016, I think we met in Doha, and for the large contemporary Chinese exhibition show over there, and then also later in Paris, in the Baden, Paris, a couple of years ago. And this is actually, I went to Dijon twice, 2017 and 2018. Every time trying to find Yan Pei-Ming, but I couldn't find him. He's a really celebrity over there. Even in the train station, in the restaurant, you mentioned that Yan Pei-Ming. Oh, everyone know him. So it's just really amazing, you know. Just as mentioned, that he actually, when he was 19 years old, he went to France to start to study the art, and also went to the École des Beaux-Arts Dijon, and over there, only less than 10 years, he already well established in the French art world. Had a solo show in the Monumental Center in Paris, and that's really amazing. We see how many artists that can have a solo show there. But only 10 years when he was just 20 years, still already have the show in Palm Beach and the solo show there. And later have so many shows that I think Maru just mentioned, or many places. Today is we really on this great have this opportunity stand in front with his three kind of the monumental triptych painting, the burial in Shanghai. As mentioned, this is actually inspired by Gustave Courbet. Courbet is in the 19th century realist artist, French realist art, have one painting called The Burial at the Orna. So this painting actually now displayed in the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. Actually, you go there, you will see a huge painting, the size. Actually, almost, it's a little bit larger than this one over there. So the Yan Pei-Ming, possibly here we are shocked by this kind of huge size, but if you know Yan Pei-Ming's work, his work almost all in this kind of monumental, huge size. And including mentioned in the early kind of portrait of Mao Zedong, and also the series of portraits of the kind of many kind of celebrities that Mary just mentioned earlier. So it's just so impressive by Yan Pei-Ming's this kind of the brushworks and the composition and the deep the thinking associated with all these kind of images. So today I just a few minutes before I standing these three pictures, just so impressed, so moved, and by these images shown here, including the landscapes. I can imagine what kind of things behind in his mind to create this kind of powerful works, this kind of monumental works here. So I think that here we only have half hour, so we don't have much time. So I try to pose some question to Yan Pei-Ming, let him tell you what kind of things he associated with all his works and what kind of things especially deal with this set of work. I think possibly you all want to know that. The first question maybe actually We know that most of your work is all in kind of monumental size, called the epic size. This is really huge. The works, this kind of large scale, this kind of monochrome, especially all in black and white. These kind of portraits, they are very striking and also sometimes very intense. So what draws you to this kind of scale and this plot?
Qu'est-ce qui vous attire à ce genre d'échelle et de compréhension des techniques?
Oui, normalement, il vient de Shanghai et moi je viens de Shanghai, on peut parler en dialecte shanghaïen. Sinon, on choisit anglais, français.
We are both from Shanghai and we can both speak in Shanghai dialect. Otherwise, here we speak in English or French.
Oui, que je choisis très grand format parce que
I choose a huge format.
et le musée est de plus en plus grand.
The museums are larger and larger.
Que je ne peux pas faire une toute petite peinture sur un grand mur comme ça.
I cannot create a very small painting and put it, hang it on a large wall like this.
Exposé ici, et je crois que c'est la peinture faite exprès dans ces deux lieux-là.
So we are in a huge gallery here, so it's on purpose. It's perfect.
Yeah, and we see that now we are in front of this painting, actually, this is such a painting. Was there any kind of particular emotional or any kind of political kind of context behind this kind of interpretation, such as this painting associated with the Courbet's kind of the imperial honor, and also your other works like this kind of the Mona Lisa or the Jean-Paul II, Pope Jean-Paul II.
On ne peut pas faire une peinture sans l'émotion.
You cannot paint without emotion.
L'émotion, c'est quelque chose qui est très important.
Emotion is something very significant.
Pour une expression exprimée dans la peinture.
To express yourself through your paintings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and maybe as your experience, your educational and also your kind of the creative experience is so impressive as the world well-known artist here. Because maybe some question related to the early kind of career. One question I always want to ask you, I didn't have a chance before, is why you went to France, choose the École de Dijon to start your career? Because about 100 years ago, one of the China's most important art educator and painter, Lin Fumian, studied in Paris. He would also choose the Dijon as his first step into the French art world. And interesting is the two of you, both are the well-known artists. Why you choose this place and choose not Paris?
Je choisis à Dijon, c'est à cause d'un restaurant chinois qui s'appelle le Dragon Céleste.
I chose Dijon because of a Chinese restaurant that's called the Celestial Dragon.
Et le fils du patron de ce restaurant, aujourd'hui, il est présent.
And the son of the owner of the restaurant is among us today.
Parce que quand je suis arrivé à Paris, mon oncle qui m'a envoyé à Dijon.
Because when I arrived in Paris, my uncle sent me to Dijon.
Pour vous présenter ses parents, il y a un restaurant de Taïwan à Dijon.
to introduce me to his parents because he has a restaurant from Taiwan in Dijon.
Je mange un repas par jour et le soir dans le restaurant. Voilà. Et
So I was able to eat dinner every day at that restaurant.
dans la journée, je fais l'étude.
And during the day, I was studying.
Voilà. S'il n'y a pas ce restaurant-là, que ses parents, je ne serais jamais à Dijon.
So if there was not that restaurant and his parents in Dijon, I would never have stayed in Dijon.
Voilà. Et je veux rendre hommage à ses parents.
I want to pay tribute to his parents.
Ça, c'est une famille qui est très chaleureusement qui m'a accueilli.
That's a family that welcomed me very warmly.
Voilà. Eux, ils viennent de Taïwan et moi, je viens de Chine.
He is from Taiwan and I come from mainland China.
Oui, c'est un destin incroyablement que par hasard, parce que je vais atterrir à Dijon.
It's fate. It's pure fate that I landed in Dijon because of them.
Voilà. Tout le monde est parti et moi, je restais.
Everybody left and I stayed there.
Thank you. This really answered my question. So many years, always wanted to ask this question.
I had this question on my mind for so many years.
Yeah. But, you know, your paintings are all in kind of black, white, instead of color. Even, you know, this type of painting, you pay the respect to the Buddha, the Courbet, that he actually painted painting with color. But what kind of emotion do you feel is kind of grayscale kind of allow you to express the color might not?
Il y a deux sortes d'artistes.
There were two kinds of artists.
Un qui est coloriste,
One that is a colorist,
l'autre qui est valoriste.
another one who is a valorist.
Et moi, je choisis en noir et blanc.
And I picked black and white.
Au début, c'est pour l'économie financière.
In the beginning, it was to save money.
Voilà, au départ.
At the first, it was to save money.
Et la couleur, la peinture à l'huile en couleur, ça coûte tellement cher.
Color oil on canvas is very, very expensive.
Et on choisit en noir et blanc, je fais une économie, comment dire, à la fois par rapport à la couleur, en même temps, je concentre sur la lumière.
So I save color doing that, and also I can focus on light, luminosity.
Voilà. En même temps, pour éviter toute rencontre avec tout le grand artiste avant moi.
Also to avoid doing the same thing other artists did before me.
C'est ça que avec le noir et blanc, je fais de mon propre chemin.
With black and white, I follow my own path.
Thank you. And was there a questions related to you, as the Chinese artist living in Europe? So what do your kind of the roots and experience as a Chinese-born artist living in Europe shape your artistic identity?
Pour moi, c'est un peu plus difficile, parce que je n'ai pas fait d'études d'école de beaux-arts en Chine, je le fais en France.
To me, it's a little bit more difficult to express my Chinese roots in France because I didn't study art in China, I studied art in France.
Oui, je suis beaucoup plus proche de l'artiste européen.
So I feel closer to European artists.
Mais en même temps, c'est un langage pictural universel.
But at the same time, it's a universal pictorial language.
Je ne fais pas de peinture que pour le chinois, je fais de peinture, c'est pour l'homme.
I don't want to do Chinese paintings, I do paintings for man.
Thank you so much. Many questions that I don't, but I want to leave one some time for you to explain to us about specifically this triptychs.
Est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer
brièvement ce trip.
En 2017, j'ai eu une invitation par le président au musée d'Orsay, Laurence Descartes.
In 2017, I was invited by the curator of the Museum of Orsay, Laurence Descartes.
À partir de ce moment-là, j'imagine un projet.
From that time on, I imagined a project.
Je choisis un enterrement à Ornans.
I picked a burial in Ornans.
Et que je veux faire tous les portraits, extraits de tous les portraits dans la peinture pour faire des portraits individuels.
I wanted to extract all the portraits in the painting to paint those individuals.
En 2018, la mort de ma maman qui m'a tellement bouleversé et le projet est entièrement changé.
In 2018, my mom passed away, and it upset me a great deal, and it changed the whole project.
Et le Courbet, il fait ses peintures, moi, je fais les miens.
And Kuiyi, he does his own paintings, and I do my own paintings.
Seule référence, c'est le même format exact et la dimension d'un enterrement en Ornans.
The only reference is that it's exactly the same format, the same size.
Il a 3 pièces, voilà. Ma mère, et le montagne céleste, et le adieu.
So there are 3 parts. My mother, she was in the hospital, as you can see. The celestial mountain and farewell.
Il raconte une seule histoire, c'est un enterrement à Shanghai.
It tells only one story, a burial in Shanghai.
Yeah, in the centerpiece, we see you put yourself actually in the painting. That's really kind of the very emotional kind of the feeling must be behind this.
Oui, c'est une émotion très particulière. Voilà,
Yes, it's a very specific emotion.
voilà. Perdre la maman, c'est toujours pour un fils, c'est très, très douloureux.
Losing your mom is always very painful for a son.
C'est une peinture qui est remplie d'une émotion personnelle.
That painting is filled with my personal emotions.
En même temps, c'est une peinture un peu universelle. Donc,
But that painting is also a bit universal.
Thank you. That's it's my instant way of painting. It's really feel this kind of emotion, very obvious. Yeah. So and this, most of the brushwork we can see here, in sometimes give you the feeling seems it's not really finished. It's kind of unfinished feeling. Actually, also this kind of. Especially with the black white this kind of colors shown here. So, do you during the painting process, do you ever kind of revisit or revise on this kind of final finished piece? How do you know when the painting is truly done or finished?
Parfois, on a l'impression que ce n'est pas totalement fini. Comment décidez-vous que c'est fini, votre tableau? Parce que d'après les coups de pinceau, tout ça, il y a des sentiments qui ne paraissent pas être complètement finis. Comment décidez-vous que vous avez fini votre œuvre?
Il y a plusieurs raisons.
There are several reasons how I decide my work is finished.
Un, l'exposition, ça approche.
One, it's getting near to have an exhibit in a museum.
Il faut un moment soit fini.
So you have to finish sometime.
Et la deuxième chose, c'est aussi que quand l'expression quand les sentiments, ils sont tous arrivés, je peux dire, c'est fini.
Second reason is when you can feel the emotions in the painting, I can say it's finished.
C'est difficile à décider à quel moment est fini.
It's hard to decide when it's really finished.
Ouais, mais que toujours, un moment, il faut le finir.
But at some time you have to finish it.
Souvent, je regardais la peinture, je fume un grand cigare, je regarde, je dis, ah, c'est fini.
Sometimes I look at the painting, I smoke a big cigar, and I decide it's finished.
Voilà. Peut-être, il est demain, et le photographe, il va venir pour faire le photo.
Or maybe tomorrow a photographer is going to come and take a picture.
Voilà, que si le photo est fait, que c'est difficile à changer.
And once it's immortalized in a picture, it's hard to change.
Sinon, et le photographe, il est obligé de revenir.
Otherwise, you have to call back the photographer.
Voilà, il y a des raisons très diverses.
There were various reasons.
Des fois, ils ne sont pas finis et finir en même temps.
Sometimes they are not quite finished, but they are finished at the same time.
Il ne faut pas faire trop de notes.
You cannot make too many notes.
Voilà, arriver à un moment précis et la peinture est finie.
At some given time, the painting is finished, accomplished.
Voilà. Des fois, je continue, après je dis, ah, avant était bien.
Sometimes I go on, I continue working on the painting, and I say, too bad,
Voilà, que
it was very nice before.
je répète pendant 2 jours.
I have regrets for like 2 days.
Voilà. Après, en travaillant, je le rattrape. Après, je trouve que c'est vraiment extraordinaire. Ah,
Then I keep working, and I make it nice again, and then I say, oh, it's really great.
Après, je lui donnais que ma propre décision était bien.
And then I know my own decision was the right one.
Et chaque peinture est très différente.
Each painting is very different.
It's true. And in your career, which artist, whether the past or present, had given you the biggest kind of impact on your own kind of development?
Quel artiste a eu un impact sur votre propre développement artistique? Quelqu'un que vous avez rencontré?
Je pense que c'est une exposition du Centre Pompidou qui s'appelle Dockening.
That was an exhibit at the Pompidou Museum, the center, that was called The Koenig.
Parce que c'est une peinture de gestuelle.
That's a painting with a lot of gestures.
À la fois figurative, à la fois abstraite.
It's representative and abstract at the same time.
Quand je le vois ça me fait un choc émotionnel.
When I saw that painting, I felt like an emotional shock.
À l'époque, il représentait beaucoup de femmes.
He was painting a lot of women at that time.
Ça me redonnait une énergie en peinture.
It gave me back some energy to paint.
When you must first saw the Kuiyi painting when you just arrived in Paris not too long, but now we see your painting and the Kuiyi both showing in museums in Paris. What do you feel now?
Maintenant que vous voyez les tableaux de Kuiyi partout à Paris, qu'est-ce que vous ressentez?
Avec beaucoup de fraîcheur à la peinture.
It's refreshing to look at those paintings again.
Quand on est bon, on reste un bon.
When you are good at something, you remain good at it.
Now you are the really internationally renowned artist. So, what do you see the role an artist in the society today, and has you kind of the own kind of role involved over the years?
Comment concevez-vous le rôle de l'artiste maintenant et qu'est-ce que vous voulez démystifier?
Si il y a une société sans l'artiste, le monde, ça va devenir ennuyeux.
A society without artists would be very boring.
Et le musée, et la galerie, et l'artiste, il fait un monde à part, à la fois intégré dans notre époque.
So the museum, the gallery, they are sort of like a world aside, but also integral part of our world.
Pourquoi on voyage, visiter tout le musée au monde?
Why do we visit all the museums when we travel to other places?
L'homme, quand après la mort, on ne peut rien amener. Voilà. Et la peinture, l'art, il est toujours resté.
After you die, you cannot bring about anything else, but your art will stay.
Yes, there's artist duty and the artist's opportunity, and yeah. So we see many kind of young people here, and what advice you will give to young artists today in trying to find their own voice?
Quel conseil donneriez-vous aux jeunes artistes aujourd'hui pour qu'ils trouvent leur propre voix, leur propre mode d'expression?
Être artiste, c'est pas facile.
It's not easy to be an artist.
Il faut croire.
You have to believe in it, to believe in yourself.
Si lui, il ne croit pas, il ne peut pas être artiste.
If the would-be artist doesn't believe in it, he cannot be one.
Je pense que, heureusement, c'est pas tout le monde qui fait une école d'art et peut devenir artiste. Sinon, il y a trop d'artistes.
Fortunately, not everybody goes to art college, fine art college, and becomes an artist. There would be way too many artists.
On a besoin d'autres personnes qui peuvent nous soutenir.
We need other people who can support us.
Voilà, si c'est tout le monde est artiste et le monde c'est un peu ennuyeux.
If everybody were an artist, the world would become boring too.
And the last question to you. What kind of themes or questions are you currently exploring in your studio, in your artwork? Yeah, what kind of the themes or questions now you're facing in your own work?
Quel genre de thème et de questions, à quel genre de thème et de questions faites-vous face maintenant dans votre studio artistique?
Ça, c'est un problème de tous les jours.
It's an everyday problem.
Je lutte contre moi tous les jours
I fight against myself every day
pour essayer de trouver une idée géniale.
to try to have an awesome idea.
Ça n'arrive pas tous les jours.
It doesn't happen every day, unfortunately.
Je reste beaucoup de temps dans l'atelier, essayer de trouver quelque chose.
I stay a long time every day in my workshop trying to find something.
Des fois, je trouve, je vais prendre des semaines et puis je trouve.
Sometimes I find fairly quickly, sometimes weeks elapse without me able to find something.
Pour trouver une bonne idée, il va rester beaucoup de temps dans l'atelier.
To find a good idea, you have to spend a lot of time in your workshop.
C'est fatigant d'être un artiste.
It's tiring to be an artist.
Et la lumière, c'est un instant, c'est le vernissage, par exemple, ici. Le lendemain, je recommence à zéro.
So today we have an opening, and tomorrow I will start from scratch again, do something new.
C'est le chemin de croix.
It's like bearing a cross, it's Easter or so.
Thank you so much. Really had a great opportunity to talk to you, and also I think that our audience. Do we still have time?
If we can take one or
Take
two
one or two questions. Yeah. Any questions? Yeah, please.
Thank you. The original burial, the corbeille, it seems that it's all about the whole. The body is not shown. Why do you choose to place the body in the coffin so front and center in this painting?
La peinture de Courbet, il y a un trou. Voilà, enterré, il y a un trou. Voilà. Moi,
In the Courbet's painting, there is a hole. The person is buried in a hole.
mais que je pense, en effet, une peinture ressemble à la peinture de Courbet.
But I did a painting, I didn't want it to look exactly like Courbet's painting.
Voilà. Courbet il racontait son histoire. Et moi, j'ai raconté les miennes.
Courbet was telling his own story, and I am telling my story.
Oui, que c'est comme l'enterrement actuellement, on ne voit pas le corps.
Yes, normally at a burial you don't see the body.
En Chine, pour l'enterrement, on voit le visage, on voit le corps.
In China, during a burial, you can see the face, especially, and sometimes a bit of the body.
C'est ça, et la famille qui peut recueillir le dernier adieu en voyant.
And the family can say a last goodbye by saying the face of the person.
So I have a question about it because it's so difficult to face the death or the passaway of your family member and your mother, of course. So did you have any time it's too hard to you and you want to, you don't want to finish it and you just want to drop there. So do you have any moment? Excuse me. Oh, yeah. So my question is about it because Yan Pei-Ming's big paintings about the funeral of his mother. So my question is about it. It's so difficult when you face your family's passed away. Did he have any moment because it's too hard, it's too emotional? He want to, drop it and he don't want to finish it anymore.
J'ai une mission, j'ai une exécution au musée d'Orsay. Je n'ai pas le choix.
I have a mission. I have an exhibit coming up at the Orsay Museum. I don't have a choice. I have to finish.
C'est comme un match. Voilà. Quand le football il commence, il faut entrer en jeu.
It's like a soccer game. When you start, you have to get into the game and finish it.
C'est de forcer à travailler.
You have to force yourself to work.
Sinon, je fais.
Otherwise, I will not do anything.
Thank you, everybody. We don't have any time for more questions. I appreciate that everybody spent half an hour with us. And I invite everybody. The museum's open until 8, so I invite everybody to walk around the galleries. There's Artful Life that opened recently. Also great new works from our collection. So I invite everybody to enjoy that. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you especially to our guests.